This segment is brought to you by Barker Honda. It's better at Barker.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And though for those people in our area that think about the arts and think about theater, we're so very glad to have La Petite here, but we're even more glad to have some of the people that bring that show to you and those shows to you all the time, 5 plays a year. Welcome back to the show, Miss Lauren Brizendine. Thanks for being here.
Nice to see you.
All
Thanks
right,
for having
appreciate
me.
that. You got it. Sitting next to her, Miss Susan Waldron. Susan, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. So listen, let's just talk theater just for a minute. As a thespian,
Yes.
and somebody who's done that many, many years ago, it's like when you get involved in the theater, whether you're the person that has tickets, whether you're the person that does sound, whether you're the person that's on stage, you kind of fall in love with it. And that's kind of what happens for people. Lauren, what's been your experience, and for how long, by the way?
Well, I mean, if I'm being honest, the first play I was in was as Mary in my first grade nativity play.
All right,
so
okay.
I've been.
When you start with the Virgin Mary, it's
It
hard.
was a big
hard to-
role.
Yeah,
It was
I got
a
to
big
tell
role.
you, that's huge.
Yeah.
But I've done plays just throughout my life. I lived in Dallas, Texas, and
Right.
I did a lot of, improv and comedy. And I was looking for a way when I moved back, like, what can I do here? There's not a lot of improv classes.
Right.
So I found La Petite
Right.
and got back on stage.
And you found a home at La Petite?
I did.
Yeah,
I
I
did.
like it.
Because
It was a
to your
welcome home.
point,
Yeah.
I mean, if you love it, you love it.
Yeah. Susan, how about for you?
I'm more the backstage and the back
Right,
of the scenes,
right.
kind of the helper, and just don't want the spotlight,
Yeah.
but just
Unlike your husband.
unlike my husband. Yes. 1993 is when I
Okay.
first got introduced to La Petite because Joel and I were dating.
Right.
And he was like, "Hey, I'm going to try out for this play. Do you want to come see what it's about?"
Yeah.
Well, then I got roped into backstage.
Yeah,
And
you
then that
show
was
up.
it.
You
That
show
was
up and they
it.
find
If
you a
show up,
role.
yes, you
right?
got voluntold
Yeah,
sometimes.
exactly.
For
That
sure.
that role may be building, that role may be behind the scenes, that role may be in sound, which you're very good at, and which you're
Right.
going to be doing for this production we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Yes.
But there's so many things that take
There's so
place.
many different outlets,
Right?
That
And
you just find your little niche or
Yeah.
your niche, and then
Right.
that's it.
Right.
Boom, you're bit by the bug. So
Yeah, the
30
theater
something
bug-
years later.
Interestingly enough, Pat Crochet introduced me to it. We did a play in high school called Us and Them. Now, I've been doing theater my whole life, just ask my family, because I'm a pretender, and I pretend to be lots of things. Right now, I'm pretending to be a pretty good husband and father, and I'm just pretending. Just kidding. But no, the theater has been one of those things for me where just you can find your outlet
Yes.
sometimes,
Yeah.
especially for those people who can't sing, or maybe people who can't play an instrument. You find an outlet where theater can really fill a void in your life that you can brings great joy.
Oh, yes. And I'd like to add, when I kind of got back on stage, I was actually going through kind of a depression and I needed something. And I remember thinking, oh, the stage, the theater, that's part of what I call my happiness closet,
Right.
right?
Right.
So, not only do you find an outlet, but additionally, you find a family and
Yeah.
a community and the people. And it's just, it's so fulfilling to be able to bring the gift of entertainment to people,
Right.
Especially in a world that's kind of crazy,
Yeah.
right?
It's a way to kind of get away. So
Yes.
for those of us who've
Right.
been in plays, practicing and practicing and practicing and running lines and correcting people whose lines are not right, all of those things, and people who don't remember their lines till dress. But all of those things that happen, you get to take a little bit of a break. And I love something you mentioned earlier, Lauren, as we were talking, that theater, for some people, they may think, oh, I'm not going to the theater. I'm not doing that. Well, you don't know what you're missing, first and foremost. But secondly, we've got a great option for this after dark
Yes.
option that we have, and we do several during the year,
Yes.
right?
I think about three.
Three,
Yes.
right? And so kind of partnered with Lumiere.
Yes.
And so let's talk about what's coming up, because I want to tease this before we go to break. And, it's a little theater
It
there. We
is.
want to
We're
do the
being very
tease.
dramatic.
That's
Right.
Stop.
As we should.
Exactly. And so we're doing this After Dark series, and
Yes.
this particular one is going to be really fun. But After Dark may be different for some who are maybe not your traditional theater goers.
Yes, and that's what I love about it, right? Is the After Dark initiative is a little, it's more provocative, or it's off-site, or, it's just a little more mature. And I do love it as an option for people who maybe don't want to see your classics like Chicago, or, some of the ones we're doing this season for Old Broads. It's like you have an option to do
Right.
something a little different, to see something a little more thought-provoking, and perhaps that'll bring you into the theater one day.
Right. And you
hopefully.
mentioned two of them. We've had one already, the Guacamole Queens, of course, but Out of Sight, Out of Murder, and then Chicago are the other things that people can see. And you go to La Petite de Terrebonne and look that up. But we're going to leave you with the idea that we're going to come back. And the idea is this: Mother Truckers.
Yes, indeed.
And we'll leave it at that, and we'll be right back after this break as we talk a whole lot more with Susan and Lauren about the After Dark series of La Petite. You don't want to miss it. Come right back.
This segment was brought to you by Barker Honda. It's better at Barker.
Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it very, very much. Very glad to have with us members from La Petite, Lauren and Susan here, talking a little bit about what we told you, this after hours or after dark option for adults only. And there's a reason, because we're going to see Mother Truckers.
Yes, we are.
So Mother Truckers is going to be here. La Petite After Dark will present at Lumiere Blues and Jazz Bistro. Mother Truckers, the radio show, traveling down the road the only way we know how, hilariously. It's October 1st through 4th, 2025 at Lumiere, as mentioned, and tickets are on sale now. And so the best thing about this is that I knew Mother Truckers was coming. And the other day I'm in the road and I hear the song, This is the Rubber Ducky speaking. We got ourselves a convoy.
Yep.
And so it just reminded me of Mother Truckers. It made me laugh already.
Oh, yeah.
And it is a comedy.
Yes, my favorite.
Really?
Yes, you are going to laugh.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Everybody's going to
Yeah,
laugh.
be prepared for
Yes.
laughter,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But the value of this is that you get to come and do dinner, and you get to come and enjoy a show.
Yes. I mean, it's like I said, it's a little untraditional for theater.
Right.
So, you can go and purchase a ticket for $25. The
Very
doors
cheap.
open at 5. So you can also come in, and Lumiere will be serving dinner and drinks until 7.
Right.
And then just get ready to laugh.
Show starts at 7:30. If you want to get tickets, go to homealittle.theater.com.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Mother Trucker, the radio show, which is a play by Saperstein and Marway, right?
Yes.
So tell us about the show, what it is.
Well, actually, the story picks up from a previous play where the main character, Maxine, her husband, Nelson, dies of a heart attack, leaves her with some bills, and he was a trucker. So she decides to take over that trucking business with her sister, Charlotte. And we go through 6 radio episodes of their adventures on the road.
Wow. And there are adventures on the
Yes.
road, right? So how is sound to
Sound
do
is
for this
fun.
particular show?
Sound is a lot of fun. It's a lot of clips.
Right?
And it's a lot of if you don't listen closely, sometimes you miss it.
You miss it, right? Some of the little
It's a lot
things.
of tongue in cheek. And
Right, right.
It's hysterical.
But it's about the radio show, and so that's
Yes.
very interesting. This is a different
Correct.
dynamic,
Yes.
especially from a sound standpoint.
Correct. And I think it was originally set in the 40s.
Yes.
And then they kind of upgraded it to where now there's cell phones involved, but all of the sound effects are from that original 40s radio show.
Wow. So very cool.
And
Back when
what it
CDs
reminded
were the
me,
thing.
right, when I first started helping them with everything,
Right.
it reminded me of Annie when they do the radio show with Annie, and you have the Foley guy who's tapping the shoes, and you have the doorbell ringing and the door slamming. Boom.
And they're creating all that
Correct.
noise themselves.
All the background noise for people to hear,
Right.
not physically see from the 40s.
So in theater, where some people do sound, you're literally doing sound effects,
I'm doing some of them,
right?
but I'm also partnering with my husband this time.
Oh my.
And he is the Foley guy. So if you want to giggle
Wow.
and maybe full belly laugh as
Right.
well, you need
Right.
to come see it.
Wow. That's fantastic. And so again, they as they go through their adventure, it's kind of captured through the radio show.
Yes. And that's what I love about it too. It's having it set as a radio show is a little different, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
a traditional theater setting.
No.
In addition to actually being at Lumiere, it's just kind of gives it that little bit of like, I want to be entertained. Watching a live radio show sounds really fun, you know? So I think it's something people will really enjoy.
Wow. Very, very cool. So again, I want to let everybody know exactly what it is. It is La Petite After Dark, partnering with Lumiere Blues and Jazz Bistro. And so thank you very much to those guys over there. Mother Truckers, the radio show, traveling down the road the only way we know how, hilariously. October 1st through 4th, 2025. Again, Lumiere Blues and Jazz Bistro. Tickets on sale now. And it's just one of those things that I love the new options that we have. We just started doing these here recently, and they've been very well received.
Yes.
Even the more risque
Yes.
productions. When
The
Steve
one we
came on and told us, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
The last time
like there's
I was
certain things we
here.
can't say at all. We can't even hit to some
Yeah,
of those
it was-
things. It was terrific, but again, it's a wonderful way to reach a different group of people, and it's a different dynamic, which is
Yes.
so very nice.
And it's also a wonderful way not only to support local theater, but also support local businesses.
Right. Yeah.
So, you can laugh and kind of feel good too. So
Right.
it's really a win-win.
And you talk about community theater, which is really about support for our community,
Indeed.
and vice versa.
Yes.
And Lumiere's
do that.
has really good food.
They
So
really
you're
do.
going out
Brian
for
and
a
his group
really
do a great
good
job.
dinner.
Yes.
And
They really do.
yes.
I love it. So thank you very much for offering to do sound and to doing that
it's
with
gonna
this
be
as you
fun.
partner with your husband. So thank you for that. Thank you for doing this, Lauren. We appreciate it. Look forward to it. It literally is going to be probably the best weekend that people can have to enjoy
yes.
theater after
So
dark.
much fun.
Very cool. We appreciate y'all doing it.
Thank you so much, Keith.
All right, guys, that will do it for this particular segment. But don't go anywhere. I got a whole lot more right here on HTV.
This segment was brought to you by St. Martin and Bourke. Know your rights.